Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV channel.
Had a little technical difficulty with the waiting screen tonight, but y'all got to listen to some good music. So welcome to the ARTyRV channel.
Welcome to the live Q&A tonight, where you can answer your questions and we'll be happy to answer them. Just put your questions in the chat with a Q and Ed will try his best to answer them.
I'll do what I can anyway.
We'll try.
We got a lot of people in tonight. Some of you may have traveled today and are spending Thanksgiving with loved ones and family and are already there. So we'll go ahead and say hello to your family too. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Magali said she went to a show and had a great weekend. She's back in the shop making more things for December 3rd.
Awesome. Congratulations, Magali. Yeah,
you
that's
make
great.
Some beautiful pieces. Okay, so, Ed Forsman just returned from Drunken Jack's to see the Marsh Walk project. A spectacular work. Thank you.
Phase 1. Thanks,
Forsman.
Ed. We look forward to it. I guess we'll be seeing you this week. I'll be out of the office tomorrow until about 2. And then, of course, we're here all day on Wednesday. We look forward to seeing you, hopefully.
Okay, so if you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q. I don't think I've missed any questions yet.
Not yet.
I hope everybody is ready for Thanksgiving. I hope you've already gone to the grocery store and got your turkey.
Because it is a madhouse tonight.
It is crazy. They're shopping tonight.
Yeah, we rode by the store. That's what we did. We did a drive-by.
We did a drive-by and we said,
on
no,
the way to the shop
we're not
here.
doing that.
We're not doing that tonight.
8 a.m. in the morning or have it delivered.
I think we'll just have it delivered. The turkey is in the refrigerator here at the shop, and it's about halfway thawed out, so it's perfect. It's right on schedule.
Yeah, Ed said he's coming by on Wednesday.
Okay, great.
So we have people from all over, UK, Maine, Virginia, Minnesota, Washington. I know I won't be able to get everyone in here, but we've got people from all over the country and all
Canada
over.
and Iowa, really?
Yeah,
That's great.
all over.
Hey, everybody, while we got a second, let's go ahead and give Ray a big thumbs up. He works harder than you guys really know that he does. Thanks for Ray for everything you do. And hello to Susie for us, please.
Mary's moved, so we can't see her, but I'll turn the camera so you can say hello to Mary.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, there's a question. Cool.
There's a question. Who chooses the background music for your short videos? There's some great tunes. I am Alan. It's a collaboration.
And a lot of those tunes show our age.
It's a collaboration. I try to ask Ed because he has he remembers the songs and the sounds a lot better than I do. He knows all the words, so I'll say, the video we just said, what song? And
I used to have a job where I had a $50 a week allowance back in the 70s to buy music, to buy records. That's a lot of money, $50 a week. And anything that came out new on vinyl was on the playlist.
So it's a lot of fun picking out the music. And if you guys have any favorite people that you like to listen to, if I can get the music for free, I have to pay royalties for my music, so
which is only fair.
Pretty, with YouTube, they make it reasonable. I'll throw one in there on one of the shorts. So if you have some ideas, just let me know.
Hey, to Van Nuys in Van Nuys, California. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Working in your studio, we love to see you work, just like you guys like to see us work.
MB Volker, can you recommend any books on the history of stained glass? In our Amazon store, I believe I've got 2 or 3 stained glass history books. I have to go back and look, but
there are some really good ones.
Yeah, I think the books that we have are on English, Irish, but I don't know if I have it on the history of American windows. But I do have the Stained Glass Association's book.
The Bible book. Yeah.
The Bible book. If you can get your hands on one of them, it has a really good history section in it. So
it makes for a good. Well, it's a great reference manual as well. that the Stained Glass Association of America book makes a great reference.
Yeah, that book is really the book that I go to first. And yeah, check out our Amazon store. I'm pretty sure I've got some history book. Scroll down to the bottom. I'm pretty sure there's 3 or 4 history books here. We have a fly.
We have an aunt. I got him.
Is that an aunt? Okay.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, it's an aunt, not an uncle, so that's good.
Oh, good. Okay. I wish I knew him right off the top of my head, MB, but I don't. But that's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, on the history. Let's see. Okay. Augustine Machine.
Hey,
Copper
Augustine
foil.
Machine.
When working on an intricate free form without consistent boundaries to set against a straight edge, is there a trick to securing things in place for tacking and tinning?
Well, yeah, you need to kind of if you're building sculpture, I guess Augustine Machine is what it sounds like. Because you have no depth, you're going to have to tack it together in some point to hold it. But then you're also going to have to be able to lay it flat, and those pieces that you're going to have to attach vertically or standing up or tacking them vertically, you're going to need to. I would try and finish all of those edges first, so you're not trying to dig in to little tiny spaces, trying to cover the copper foil up or trying to tin the copper foil. So there's really no way for you to other than to just work with it and get some like a chip clip maybe, because they have a real soft spring, and that'll help you hold things together while you're turning things around and moving them around with sculpture. But my whole thing would be, for putting a sculpture type thing together, would be to finish the edges on everything first and then put it together. And then because that's not going to leave you a big mess to clean up if you finish all the edge work first. I guess, right?
Right. Do a little bit of tinning on your edge work.
On all of it.
On all of it, because you're not confined to an outside perimeter, so you don't have to worry about tinning it and it not meeting that project's size. If it's a little bit over, it's not going to make a difference. And also, if you can build a jig
to help hold it,
a wooden jig like
a cardboard box works really well.
Box.
Rolls of paper towels work really well to wedge things up and hold them in position.
But like the inside of a square, whatever you can find that you can prop it up that doesn't burn.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You don't want to, you want to be careful about fire, of course.
Okay, Karen has a question. Doing commissions and inventory to sell, how do you divide what time gets which project?
Oh, that's up to you.
I know commissions are top priority. Working 40 at my office some days, I can't make it to my studio. So how do you divide what time gets what project?
Typically, I work on 3 different projects a day. And some projects get more time than others, but right now, most of my time is spent on the Drunken Jacks project. But I also have other things that I squeeze in behind. But here's the thing, Karen. I'm already working 40, 50, 60 hours a week here. I don't have that other 40-hour job that you do. So what you're going to have to do, I think, is probably make that choice. If you're that busy in your stained glass shop that you can't get your work done, then you're going to have to make a choice, huh? And that choice could be, working in the stained glass shop full time.
Karen, what I usually do when I'm really swamped with projects is I, of course, take all my projects. When are they due? Okay, this is due this time, this is due this time, this is due this time. Take that due date and work backwards from that due date to where you are now, and figure how many hours you're going to have to work on each project to meet your deadline.
Right.
And then when you do that, then you can divide those hours, and then you can say, okay, I got to put 60 hours into this project. I'm going to have to work on that at least, 12 20 hours this week, but I don't have to do this other till the end of the month. So I can wait and I can do that when I get a chance. You see what I mean?
A little bit of time on each project, yeah.
So prioritize by due date and then work backwards from there.
Right. And you know what it's going to do, Karen? Because it does mine. It gets into my camping time. But
what's more important?
What's more important? You're either working or camping. And I'm working to go camping is what I'm doing. So we're taking some time off in January.
We're
going
out
camping.
any of the camping times.
Well, if you're gonna take commission work, you got to be careful about it because they expect it.
Hush. DSS is actually working in a hospital laboratory with her speaker and her iPhone while performing clinical laboratory studies.
Oh, be careful.
Be careful.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, thanks for listening and making your work. You're doing double duty.
I know. You're multitasking.
That is right.
That's right. And that's awesome.
Mary Sullivan has a question. I have received a tool for applying copper foil. It is about the diameter of a pencil with 2 holes on either end. Are you familiar, and how do you load and use it?
It's called the hand foiler, and they have a hand crimper. The foiler is loaded from the back side, and the paper comes out one end on the other, and you operate it like a potato peeler. I don't have one to show you how to load it, but it's called a hand foiler, and I'm sure that you could probably find a video on. I think it's made by Inland, isn't it?
Yes, and it has a crimper too that you can use. So you foil.
Yeah, so it's a hand foiler and a hand crimper.
Yeah, it's a handy dandy little.
Is it like the color blue of Barbara's jacket here?
It's a nice tool. I have a friend that did lamps, and that's all she uses.
That's all she uses. Yeah. So and it is. You operate it just like a potato peeler. It works really well. It works really well on I would say medium to large pieces. Small pieces, it's a little bit cumbersome, but medium to large pieces, it works really well.
Carol R. wants to know: is there a trick for copper foiling the inside of a deep, tight curve? Yes, there is, but I don't know it.
What?
Foiling a tight, deep curve.
Well, the foil will stretch a little bit, so you technically should try and stretch it a little bit. I think it was Larry Mary. It told us one time how he stretched his foil, and so what he does is he kind of pulls the paper off and then stretches it a little bit, and then puts the paper back on, and then wraps it around that curve. It will stretch just a tiny bit to eliminate those little V cracks that go around your curve. So.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple different ways, a couple different ideas about that, but I haven't had a chance to try them. So I saw where someone like burnished it a lot.
As you go around,
burnished it a lot, and I guess it kind of stretched it a little bit and then did it. But I haven't tried it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's very...
go as loose as you can on the curves, Augustine said.
Okay.
There you go. That sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable. I guess you've got to find the right technique, but that is a tough one. Those curves are really tough.
Yeah, because even if you get a fold on the inside of the curve, when you burnish it, it's going to flatten itself out. And thanks for Augustine Machine. We appreciate that answer.
We always have our viewers on hand in case we don't really know the answer.
Yeah, because as y'all know, Barbara and I don't do a whole lot of copper foil work. We mainly do lead, but we do a lot of repair work. So we see a lot of different techniques from around, actually probably from around the world. Some of these windows that are brought in here to us to be repaired.
Pauline says if you run your finger up and down and warm it, it seems to stretch, and I think that's too.
Yeah, that's
warming
another one.
Go slowly and heat it up and stretch. Yeah, go slowly.
Yeah, so that just and then the main thing is really take your time with it.
Everybody thinks camping is more important than stained glass.
Well, in January I'm going to think that. At least for 6 days.
Thanks for your comments and help there on that question, everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for helping us chime in and for chiming in on that question. Those of you waiting back in the Waynes, happy Thanksgiving to you, and thanks for tuning in tonight. Say hi to all of our friends, Susan and Harry down in Florida, Wayne up in Philly. Hey guys, we want to say hi to Tom and Scott in Northern Virginia. How are you guys? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And hey, some of our number one fans as well. We're going to say hi to Jason and Sean Allen. Thanks for tuning in tonight if you're there. Appreciate it.
And we want to thank Sunshine Glassworks.
While we're thanking people, we want to thank Sunshine Glassworks for sponsoring tonight's show. You guys, and I know that you guys have been calling them and ordering stuff from them and everything, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Sunshine Glassworks, for sponsoring the ARTyRV, and thank you, viewers, for contacting Sunshine and doing business with them.
Yes, we appreciate you. All right. Nadia said, okay, here's 2 ideas on that inside curve, okay? On tight curves, Kat St. Jane says she puts copper foil Band-Aid from front to back and then trim back. Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Nadia B, warming the foil with your fingers back and forth and fold it down one side first, then the other.
Great.
Interesting.
Nadia,
okay, thank you. 2 things I'll try.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, and you may have already tried that indirectly, but didn't realize you were doing it. And it worked. But I think those are great ideas, and apparently they're proven. So there's like 5 different ways to take care of your inside curves with copper foil. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. That's very helpful. It's always nice to help out a fellow artist.
That's right.
We put a community question up today on YouTube asking you guys if you have ever applied for a grant
from your local arts organization
or your state arts organization. Right. So if you get a chance, answer that question. Go to the community tab and answer that question. That'll help us as we're preparing for our grant. And we can share a lot of information with you as we go along. We're finding that a lot of people, it never even occurred to them to apply for a grant.
Right.
So maybe that's something that we need to talk about, and how you can start to grow your career as an artist by applying for grants. Right. And getting help with your funding, help with your tools, help with your education, and maybe help teach other students. Right.
And those grants, Barb, they're not all matching grants or percentage grants. A lot of those grants the smaller grants are where you can use them for teaching and stuff like that. So all that stuff's available, and I'm sure it's available in every state, right, Barb?
Yeah, it's available. Some states are better than others. There's also disability grants if you're an artist and you have some disability. And you may need, say, a ramp to get into your studio, things like that. Those are things that sometimes the Arts Council will help you fund. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do. Look into it, guys. My first advice would be just to go to the Arts Commission website and look and see what's available, grants for artists. Just a little tidbit.
Okay. All right, well, we got some questions came up, Barb, while we're trying to explain about the grants.
Kinsley asks, what's the best way to match up the glass pieces of the crown of a panel lamp?
When you started the panel lamp, the best way would have been to cut the top 2 inches or 2.5 inches off of the glass that you were cutting your panels out of, and then you would have had them where they would line up. However, here's the thing. To match them up identically on a crown, on a lamp, you really don't have to worry about that. Get it lined up the best way that you can. And because it is a crown, because it's separated, and most of the time crowns don't light up anyway, I wouldn't really worry about it. I would do the best you can with it. But typically, if you need to match it up identical, is the piece of glass that you cut your 6 or 8 panels out of, you should have cut 2 inches off the top of that, and then that would have given you your crowns, and they would have lined up right above each other. So. That's
Good
what I would
question.
do when I do panel lamps. That's what I do.
Good question.
If it has a crown on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that. But next lamp, think about that, adding that extra.
Yeah. So if you have an 8-inch panel, okay, on a flat panel, then just use a 10-inch or a 12-inch piece of glass, and for 8 panels, 8 inches tall, you're going to need about 32 inches of glass. So just cut 2 inches off the top of it, or 2.5 inches, and it'll give you your crowns when you're ready.
Yes. Nita wants to know, have you ever or do you ever make your own glass?
Well, we make our own blown glass, but we don't make our own sheet glass, Anita. That requires a lot of different setups than what we have here in our studio.
We do make pieces for fused glass.
We make rondelles.
And rondelles and pendants from blown glass. But for fusing...
And sheet glass? We don't.
No, not sheet glass. Okay. Margot asks, I just acquired a Glass Star G5 mini grinder, and I do know that Glass Star is no more, and this grinder has not been in production for some time.
Right.
Okay. Do you think it will be possible to find the grinder head?
Sure it will, Margot.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's the standard 3/4 inch bit with and that shaft hasn't changed on any grinder in years. And you can actually even purchase the quick fit bit now in lieu of buying the 3/4 inch standard inland bit. So, and it'll fit on the same shaft. We have a Glass Star in the back, the brown one. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, we do have one, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Fishing Urban asks, can you use sea glass for a project?
You can, sure. I don't see why not. I think it'd be a nice addition to any project.
Okay.
Ray put up, did you see what Ray's got up there for everybody? So applications are now available at the usgrantapplications.org.
Yeah, check it out and see if there's some art grants there.
Yeah, there may be some art grants there for everybody. You never know.
Okay, Magali asks, thank you, Ray. Magali asks, if I have a piece of glass that I don't know what it is, do you know if Sunshine will allow me to send them a piece of it and let me know what it is? Unless you're going to buy it, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know that I would ask them to do that unless you're looking for it, Magali, and then maybe they can find it for you. If you're just looking to see what kind of glass it is, hon, you have mine and Barbara's contact information. Send us a picture of it.
Go to the catalogs that are readily available on Sunshine's Glass, on their Glassworks site. You can also go to Bullseye. And that's the best way to do it because they are really busy, especially this time of year, Magali. And, but definitely, if you're looking for a piece of glass and you have a sample, definitely call them. They will be happy to help.
Yeah, they will. If you'll send them a sample, that'd be great.
LaRonda loves the blown glass ornament she bought.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's right. That went out last week, didn't it?
Yeah. That's right. You got the olive confetti swirl. No, the olive confetti swirl. Yes. Okay. I don't know what that means. The head is about half the size height-wise as a normal head. I'm not sure why.
Oh, is she talking about the bit on the grinder head? The main thing you're going to have to worry about is getting the shaft is the same size. The grinder head's smaller, but the shaft I'm pretty sure it's the same size because we have one in the back, and it should. But their grinder head, the diamonds on it are much narrower than the ones that they do now. So.
I'll check with mine and make absolutely sure, but they're all pretty.
The shafts are all identical.
All the shaft itself should be.
Yeah, because nobody in their right mind would make 20 different sizes of grinder heads. That just wouldn't make any sense because nobody would sell any grinder heads. But if you make them all the same, then everybody gets to sell one.
Derby Gerb's here.
Hey, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. I think it's time for Ed to do a glass chat.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Wismac glass, and we're going to talk about a little bit about textured glass, and we're going to talk a little bit about iridescent glass.
Cool.
So we've got a little bit to talk about. A little bit.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of that. All right, so I'm going to share this with y'all. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this, y'all, this is a W87. Now, we've talked about 87 LL, and this is a 87 IR, Iridescent Ripple. And I think you can probably see the iridescence in it a little bit. Anyway, this is all of this that I could find, and I really only need this. I have about 20 pieces of water that are going in this particular window that I want them spread out because I just want that little bit of refraction of light coming down on top of the... Give me a close-up there, B, please.
Did you say that's a W?
This is a W87 IR.
Okay.
Iridescent Ripple.
That's what I got.
It's not crazy iridescent, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And just because it has a ripple on it, I'm only going to cut a small piece of this. But just because it has a texture, even the smooth side has a little bit of a texture. And I can't say this enough, y'all. When it doesn't matter what you're cutting, don't change your pressure. So we're going to take that, and I'm just going to scoot up a little bit where we're right here, and we're just going to go bink. And that's all of that glass I'm cutting because I need this for the project that I'm working on. But I want you to know that it doesn't matter what the texture is, whether it's iridescent, and that is really pretty stuff, y'all. Whether it's iridescent like this is, or if it's even, iridescent like this white opal. So this is awesome here. So don't forget, don't change the pressure on your glass cutter no matter what you're cutting, and always cut with the iridescent side up. And if you don't want the iridescent side in your window, just flip your pattern over, cut the glass upside down, and it'll work the same way for you. So I hope that helps everybody. Hey, while you're gone for Thanksgiving, you should practice cutting your glass. Get some window glass if you can. You'll have a great opportunity to take a little bit of a break and just do a little bit of practicing and maybe, become a little more comfortable with what you're doing. Myself, I'm putting the turkey in the oven, and then I'm going to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because I missed it last year. I'm going to sit in my chair and I'm going to watch my parade. And
he's been telling me all week he's going to watch the parade this year. And
my other grandchildren will be here, so that'll be fun. My daughter and son-in-law will be here too. So.
Yeah, we're looking forward to
awesome.
family.
We are looking forward
to Thanksgiving, as always. I have a question came in.
Ray, you're too funny.
A Wismac. You're a Wismac. Okay, that's funny, Ray.
That's good, Ray.
Okay, and he loves Wismac.
I love my Wismac.
Okay, so Erin Town wants to know, how did we meet? She loves watching us, or he loves watching us, or they love watching us. I learned so much.
Oh, how did us two meet? Well, we're in the vacation capital of the world, one of them anyway. So Barbara was on vacation and I was on vacation. And that's how we met. We met one evening over a glass of wine, and it's been pure bliss since.
pure bliss.
Wow, it's been
Pure
great.
bliss.
It's been almost 40
Aw.
years. It's awesome.
I know. It's been real, honey. It's been a good one. It's the best.
It ain't over yet, is it?
No, it's not over yet. So stop it. Nita wants to know what that breaking tool was.
Oh,
It's running pliers, hon.
it's running pliers, Anita. Come on.
Stop.
That's Anita. It's running
running
pliers.
pliers.
Right
Running
here.
pliers.
Here, bring me over here. Let me show Anita these. Bring them up.
Wasn't that what you just used? Or
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I just used. So, Anita, actually, these are better than running pliers. These are the Lepinette 6.5 inch short running pliers. It's quite a different plier. You can see that they just fit right in my hand without hanging over. And you'll find if you don't have a pair of these, if you did get a pair of these, you would find that they're much more comfortable in your hand as opposed to those the heavy 8-inch ones. So.
Okay.
By Keister.
Oh,
Yeah, you can still use it, Julie.
try it. It should be fine.
Yeah, Keister was back in the 80s.
Probably be
Yeah.
fine. Just take the first row of solder and
just cut
ditch
it
it,
off. Yeah.
and then underneath should be fine.
Yeah.
Don't
The first
don't-
4 or 5 inches is probably going to be pretty oxidized, but other than
Yeah.
that, you should be fine.
Yeah.
It may have if I'm not mistaken, I think Keister had a little bit of trash in it, but not a whole lot. There were some solders back in the 80s that were just full of, all it was trash. You know, you didn't know what was solder and what was trash because it was all mixed together. It was terrible.
Okay, question from Carol. When cutting waves on textured glass, is it easier to cut with the grain or against the grain? Which way creates more problems?
Yeah, well, because you're cutting waves, Carol, you're going to be cutting the grain both directions. So what I found is when I'm doing these waves, of course, my waves are in like many pieces and crowns and curves and crests of the wave. So I just turn my glass as it's rolling up the hill and breaking. And same way with the whites that I just found. I got some whites that have this looks like the waves are just breaking, don't it? It looks like they're cresting on the top. And I just found it, but of course the side that I want is the side that's all textured. So I'm going to have to flip the whole window pattern over and then cut all of my white like that. But on your rippled glass, like if you're going to use a Wismac or a Kokomo that's a textured glass like that, these glasses are very well annealed, Carol, so you're not going to have a lot of problems cutting them either direction. When you start working with heavy rippled glass like Ouroboros or Yakagani, then I find that it's easier, that the glass breaks easier going with the grain rather than against the grain. I don't know why it does that, but it seems like it does. But I'm a big fan of not, this. I want the window to look the way I want it to work. So I'm gonna do everything I can to make that glass work.
And get out your Sybil Schnitz.
Yeah, your silver Snits.
Silver Schnitz. Okay. Pauline loves her short running pliers, like the ones that we sell.
Okay, yeah.
Julie says she's also got the VWM solder, the Victory White Metals.
Victory White Metals, yeah. Now that's a good solder. Yeah, Victory White Metals is a good solder. Use it if you can find. Y'all, Julie's finding 60/40 all over the place, y'all.
Yeah. I think she bought something that was available. Okay.
The curvy lines.
Curvy lines.
I don't know. Let me. Which way is the grain running on this? Carol, is it Carol?
Yeah. Carol, yes.
Carol, hey, this piece of that little strip that I just cut off the 87, it's only about a 1/2 inch wide, and the grain is running away from me, back and forth. So let's cut a...
Now we're saying grain, but we mean
the
texture.
Yeah, I'm saying the grain. It's the texture.
No, it's not the grain. It's the texture.
No,
so which way is the texture running?
So the texture is running front to back, okay? And I'm going to cut this in a S and see if we can get it.
Too late. Too late. It's like grain and glass. Whoa, wait a minute.
All right, am I in the thing there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Here you go.
That's right. You better believe it. Those silver snit running pliers are dreamy.
Yes, sir.
And I don't. Hey, Augustine Machine. I don't know if you've tried their 3000 glass cutter or their 2000 glass cutter, but I tell you, so you can hear me. You can hear me rolling over top of the textures, but now I'm running left to or straight. Forward and back, and here we go.
But, okay, there you go.
There you go. Now, I crossed the texture, and I went back across the texture. I went up the texture, and I went back across and back across again. And I ended up doing this. I did get a little bit of an angle on my cuts, but if you look, y'all, that's only 1/8 of an inch wide right there where my finger is. That's a pretty good narrow splice of glass. And yeah, so I'm not sure. Let me see if
No worry, Carol. We understand what you were talking about.
We got you now, Carol. Yeah, we're good, hon. So
I understand that about the grain and the seamstress, but we knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, because like here's some grain. I mean, that's some grain right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but I mean, I'll try it, but I'm not real sure. But let's see, the grain is running front to back, and this probably won't break right because that's just how it is. And I didn't push hard, I didn't change my pattern, I didn't change anything, but let's see what happens here. Here we go. So it's the same thing, but if you want to see what that did, is it broke right on the rib. It split those two ribs.
Turn the other way. The other way. Oh, show them on the other side.
Okay, so it split the two ribs.
Okay.
See that? It split the rib.
So you cut it straight, but
I cut it straight, and when it broke, it just split the rib. That's all.
Okay.
So that's just one of those things. Now let's score it the other direction, Carol, and just see. I mean, because I'm with you. Wow, that didn't sound good at all, but here we go. All right, so this trip I went against the ripple, and that broke off really nice and clean. So, and this is a Ouroboros now, y'all. I'm not going to say that their glass is annealed perfectly because it's not. But their textures and the way they stack their colors, if they would just take a little more time in the annealing process, this you would never have any problems cutting their glass. But the annealing process, because of the thickness of their glass and their textures and the way they mix it, needs a little better annealing. But these glasses, y'all, are beautiful. This is the only little piece of this I have left over out of all the leaves in the Brook Green project. So.
I do have another question from
Sure, Barb,
Sam.
go.
Sam says, when I cut my glass, it doesn't make any noise. Is that bad?
No. Actually, Sam, what you're doing is you're cutting a glass that's very dense, such as white.
Window glass should make a noise.
Window glass will make a noise because there's nothing to stop it from making a noise. But you know what I have here? What I have here is a piece of white iridescent glass, and let's go over this because, guys, there are some glasses that you are not going to hear your cutter, and this is one of them. And it got down to the end, and then we heard it, but let's see what happens. So we took our running pliers, and we just, golly, look how narrow that is.
Yeah, and I would suspect that maybe there's a little bit of clear at the top of that, why it made a little bit of noise.
Well, this is an amber and white
Oh, so
mix.
maybe
So
it's
what
that
I did is I
amber.
rolled over top of the amber. There it is, right there.
Oh yeah, I see.
See the amber
yeah,
right
and
there?
It's at the tip.
Yeah, it's right, and it's right at the tip. So what made the noise was the amber. Let's do this one more time, Barb.
Okay, let's do it.
Nothing,
A little bit of amber.
nothing, and a little bit of amber at the end. Crazy. Let's flip this around and see if we can get that amber off. Here we go. Ready?
Ah, that's a good one, Ed.
That's it, guys.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Next question.
Oh, just kidding.
Let's see. That's the one today. Was cutting on, and I was being very stubborn. For me, it kept shattering. That's the one that they were trying to cut. It kept shattering.
The white iridescent
Pressing
one
too
or the
hard.
green?
Pressing too hard.
Yeah. You know what, Barb?
What?
Would you read our viewers something?
Oh, this?
Yeah, I want Barbara to read this to y'all because this what we were just talking about, okay? And then how that's the one that was just cutting me and being very stubborn for me, and it kept shattering. Y'all listen to this. This is way
I got
too
this
kind.
note this morning.
Okay. 7:30 this morning.
8:30 this morning.
Oh, 8:30. Okay.
I sent my newsletter out at 8 o'clock. I got this at 8:30 this morning. Good morning, Barb and Ed. Thank you. It's amazing to me that y'all have taken on the YouTube world at this stage in your life. It is not lost on me or many of your viewers that it takes a tremendous amount of effort to put on a weekly show, and I, for one, am extremely grateful for all your efforts. I have been in my studio for weeks working on a project, and as I start to make a cut, I often hear Ed's voice say, "Now don't change your pressure." You have made me a better artist, and I am extremely grateful for all your help. God bless you, and I wish you and your family happy Thanksgiving. Brett.
That is just way too kind. And Brett, if you're listening tonight, thank you, because Barbara read that to me when I got out of the shower this morning.
He said, "You're going to have to read it."
You gotta read that. I say, but you're gonna have to read it without crying, because I started crying.
He said, "You're going to have to read it because I'm going to start crying if I read it."
So yeah,
that was very sweet. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you. So yeah, Michael. So it was the green one that was hard. Yeah, this is a Ouroboros. Okay, this is a U, and it is very tough. And I was very fortunate that when I was cutting this glass for the Brookgreen project, that if I could get that leaf close, then I would change my pattern to work to the next one. So what I found when I'm working with these different glasses that are even a challenge for Ed to cut is I find that I'll try to work with them first, and so not to waste the glass, I may have to change my pattern to make the piece of glass that didn't break quite right, but it's never, ever, is it ever noticeable within the design of the work itself. So
On certain windows, you can do that.
you can do that. You can't do it all the time. Yeah.
So you should avoid picking that really hard to cut glass for any windows that you do that are geometric.
You need straight lines.
And
yeah.
if you notice, people that do geometric work, they work with English muffle. They work
Which is
with
a Wismac
antique
glass. Right.
You know, all those glasses that are really easy to cut. You know, you're going to see the geometric.
So when
shapes
you
and
see
things.
people working in geometrics, you can, like Barbara said, you just look at the glass and you know they're not challenging themselves.
They're doing what works.
They're doing
best
what works for us,
for their
them,
medium,
for their medium,
and their work. Yeah. So it's amazing to watch people.
Yeah, and I don't even know who the guy is that does a lot of English muffle on YouTube.
He's got beautiful work.
But he's got
I've been
beautiful
following
work.
him for years on Instagram
Yeah, and
or Pinterest.
yeah, you know, and he uses a palm rest cutter, and he's just really I enjoy watching him because he's an English muffle guy, and it really
You'll see all of his windows are English muffle, and if you've ever cut English muffle, you'll know
It's a
why
dream.
he uses it. It's a dream to cut, and it's beautiful, beautiful colors.
Well, it has a texture, yeah, and it has 19 different colors. Not color combinations. They are all cathedrals, and there's 19 of them. And it's all
really
made by
pretty stuff.
Wismac.
Yeah. Okay, when you talk about Uroboros, Augustine said he did buy the 5,000 breast Siebelschnitt cutter. It does seem smoother and quieter.
Yes.
Okay, so when you talk about Uroboros, do you mean glasses made by the old company now out of business, or new glasses made by someone else?
No, this green here had a label on it from 1981. So this is the old Uroboros here.
Okay, Jules Rickard says, I was instructed to apply 8 pounds of pressure when cutting glass.
Oh, Jules, that's technical, buddy.
I don't know,
Ma'am,
but
I don't know.
if you were, then always apply 8 pounds of pressure evenly throughout your cut.
Yeah, because
I don't know. It sounds about right to me.
You know what? I think, Jules, the 8 pounds of pressure is the exact amount that it takes to depress the head on your glass cutter. That's 8 pounds of pressure right there. Ready? Boom. 8 pounds. 8 pounds. So that's kind of a rule of thumb for everybody to remember as far as how the pressure should be on their glass cutter when they're cutting glass is depress the head and go. Right? Yeah, so depress the head and go.
Nice. Yeah, and always the same amount of pressure.
Right.
That's
so
the key.
So when that spring clicks on the head of your glass cutter, that's it. And you know what, Barb? Now that I think about it, and I just did that on that piece of glass, that's about what I have. I don't have 8 pounds because I don't have any way of telling what 8 pounds is, but I'm thinking depressing the head on your glass cutter is about 8 pounds of pressure. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, that's what I use. I just depress the head on my glass cutter. That's it.
So keep that in mind. Thank you, Jules.
I got to cut this again. I can't stand it.
You're going to cut it down one more time? Whoa, let me get.
I can't stand it. It's going to
What are
break
you
funny.
doing?
There you go.
Oh, not quite. Look at there. You messed up. Get it on camera.
I got
no,
it.
I'm just kidding.
I got it.
Oh, it's good.
I got it. But, see what it did? See that right there?
Yeah, a little.
You know what that is? That's not just a flare. That's part of a ripple on the other side. So when you have glasses that are thick and thin, bouncing up and down and all around, again, just don't stand on your glass cutter because all that does is cool the cut before you can do anything with it. Depress the head, and Jules, that's about 8 pounds of pressure, I'm guessing. But what a great idea.
Exactly.
I think it's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Exactly. Okay. Kinsley 2017. I've learned a lot from your YouTube videos, and I've been doing this for a few years. I'm still learning. The 10 things not to do for beginners are my stained glass 10 commandments.
Oh.
And they're saying that you need to get educated.
Oh, that's really nice. Guys, we're looking for T-shirts right now, so
Yeah,
don't change your pressure.
Don't change your pressure.
That's right.
You have educated. So many have been educated. Karen said that.
Anita, that's
Thankful
cool,
for
too.
you two
Love
in
it,
my
yeah.
life. You two help make this glass journey less stressful and fun.
You guys make my and Barbara's glass journey less stressful and a lot more fun.
We'll be seeing Karen in February. Question. Somehow I can't find the fancy cutter in Ed's hand now. That one?
This one? That old thing? Karen, that's 22 years old, I guess. 20 years old.
Karen, that's a Toyo Super Cutter.
That's a Toyo brass handle super cutter.
It's on the Amazon page. You'll see that it looks silver, and after you use it for a long time, it turns that gold brass color.
Yeah, because all whatever they put on it wears off.
Edumacation. Funny. You're funny, Karen. You're funny. Edumacation.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Ella Gregory says she makes T-shirts. How can you help from cracking thinner pieces while soldering? Any tips? That is asked by Tap Glass.
Tap Glass. I like that. That's a good name.
Tap Glass.
How can you help from cracking thinner pieces while soldering? Oh, I didn't know that's the question you were reading. So put a Q in front of it, guys.
That's the question I asked. Any tips, Ed, on that?
Yeah, well, I do. Actually, when you're on thinner glass, what you have to do is turn your soldering iron down a little bit, or don't spend so much time on it, because what's cracking it is heat. And antique glass, which is a little bit thinner, mouth-blown antique, G&A, all of those glasses that are a little bit thinner, you can't spend a lot of time with your soldering. So here's the thing. Turn your soldering iron up and move faster, or turn your soldering iron down and touch and go it and work your way through it and then move on to the next piece.
Okay. Pauline, I can't answer that question because I think you got cut off on that question. Did I miss any questions anywhere? Let's see. Does the room temp matter much? Tap Glass.
Well, actually, it does. On your soldering iron, here's the thing. Tap Glass, I use a rheostat on my soldering iron, and Barbara does too. And anytime we're soldering, that rheostat is attached to our iron. If you already have a rheostat in your soldering iron, such as a Hacko 601 or whatever, if you've got that, you don't need another rheostat. But if you don't have a rheostat and you're using an iron, there's your problem with your glass breaking. Your iron is running 700 and some change, and you don't need to run but like just a little over 500 to solder. So you might want to double check that and just make sure that if you're not using a rheostat, go ahead and jump over to our website and check out our store, and we have a rheostat right there for sale.
That's our Amazon store, and you can get a link at ARTyRV.
Yeah, we have all the tools that Ed recommends and that we use here in the
Amazon
studio.
Store. Just go to the description and you'll see the links to everything that we do. Our Amazon store link is there, and links to all the things we do. Also, Viewer Showcase is coming up, not next week, but December the 4th.
4th, that's right.
So think about what you might want to have in the Viewer Showcase. We've already got 5 entries. You just send it to viewershowcase@gmail.com.
Right. So Barb's got it real easy for everybody now.
Okay, Weller 100 rheostat. Okay, she loves that store. Okay, great.
With
awesome.
the Weller 100 with a rheostat. Okay,
yes.
So just try and turn it down just a little bit and work off of somewhere between 7 and 8. And if you're working outside where it's colder, or your studio's colder, just turn your iron up a little bit and keep doing tests on your solder. Just keep checking it to make sure that it's melting at the right temperature for you. Because, the temperature outside in your studio, the ambient temperature in your studio, makes a lot of difference on how it works. So.
Mary says ARTyRV is must-see TV.
Wow, you guys are awesome tonight.
They're so creative. Okay, here's a question. Stephen wants to know, Ed, did you modify that Toyo super cutter with some solder? Looks like a silver ball for a finger rest. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I sure did.
Let me put that on a close-up.
Yeah, let's do a close-up.
And Karen, that's what looks so funky about it.
That's
Karen.
what looks funny about it. You can't find this cutter because I upfitted this with some 1/4-inch copper foil and about
right.
I don't know, I guess about 6 or 7 inches of solder. A little bit applied at a time, and then eventually you just take a little tool and you get that down, and that's where my finger rests, right there, just like that. That's how I cut my glass, y'all. That's it. That's the position.
Okay. Thank you for sharing
that. That is the position of me cutting glass.
Okay.
Let me see. Can I cut glass like that?
What? Like what? Yeah, you can cut glass like that.
Hold on.
Hang on, everybody.
Okay, I
Here it
love these
goes.
these little.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
That's pretty. Okay.
That's pretty.
Stop showing off. Okay, let's get going. Okay, Stephen wants to know.
Hey, Stephen.
Yes, Stephen, we did. I'm sorry. Okay, submit your work, everyone. And Anita wants to know, do you have a recommended grinder?
Anita, we have a video on our site, on our YouTube channel that goes through the Grinder 3. I mean the grinder. And they make a grinder too. Technoglass, yeah. So the Technoglass grinder is what we consider probably the best grinder on the market right now. But it's the grinder by Technoglass. It's the one with all the bells and whistles. That grinder will probably run you, I imagine, around $635 thereabouts. But it's well worth it. They also have a grinder 2, and then they have a grinder 3. Haven't heard a couple of things about the grinder 3, and it's a great grinder to start out with. But the grinder by Technoglass is hands down the best grinder I've ever used.
Personal opinion.
But I mean that's and it wasn't given to me, so I would say that I spent my $600.
Bonnie said you need to patent that.
What?
That right there. Bonnie is
They make
Silver Snit makes one very similar.
Yeah, Silver Snit makes one. Hang on.
Yeah, I think
Let me
it's
see
down
what I
there,
got.
right?
Yeah, hold on, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, these are my Silver Snit runners.
Oh, we don't have. Oh yeah. Okay.
And this is the Silver Snit 4000.
Okay.
Okay. This is the Silver Snit 4000 right here. Mm-hmm. So when I use this cutter, now it has ribs that have been machined all the way around this area, and that's what helps keep your finger from sliding on this cutter. Now I use this cutter with the cutter head screwed to the back so that I have the angle of the bevel towards me, and it makes it much easier, everybody, to cut glass. And I want to just show y'all. This is so sweet. Listen to this. Oh, let's just use these. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Silver Snits.
Silver Snits.
So anyway, these are my Silver Snits. I really like these. And if you get an opportunity, this Silver Snit,
They can't see it.
this Silver Snit 4000 is on our page.
Amazon.
On our Amazon page, comes in a great container, has felt in the bottom, and when you put this on right here and zip it, it doesn't rattle, nothing. Thank you, Barb. I have a whole lot of little half-inch or quarter-inch strips over here.
We'll
today.
find something to do with them. We'll find something to do with them. Our mosaic people will love that. Okay, Karen said that's the one she was trying to find. It's on our Amazon page,
Yeah.
Karen.
Karen,
So-
you'll really like it. It's the Silver Snit 4000.
On our Amazon page, cutting tools. It's there.
You'll like it.
4,000?
4,000.
Silver Snit.
Silver Snit.
4,000. If you can't find it, I can send you a
It's
link.
silver with a B and a Schnit.
Schnitties.
Well, and if you
That's
guys...
a good name. I am Alan. He's so clever.
Yeah.
Use your schnitties. I love it.
Don't get schnitty with me.
Don't get schnitty. Okay. Don't
Hey,
say
everybody.
bad words. Okay. Is everybody
guys-
ready for Thanksgiving? Yay.
We're
Thumbs
ready
up
for Thanksgiving.
Give us a thumbs up for Thanksgiving anyway. If you're not
Yeah.
going to give us a thumbs up for the video.
Yeah. Just, everyone, please remember, be safe, enjoy your family, and cherish them as long as you have them.
Life is flying by. Cherish every moment.
Yeah. And you know what? And a lot of us out there, not too many of y'all, but a lot of us, the older we get, the faster it goes. So slow down.
Slow down.
and
life.
enjoy yourselves, guys.
Yeah. Y'all have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Ed, Mr. Forsman, we will see you on Wednesday. Look forward to it, my friend.
And we'll see everyone next Monday.
Happy
same
Thanksgiving.
time. Happy Thanksgiving.
And we'll see you next Monday night, guys. For the ARTyRV channel, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters, y'all.
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving.